The name of the one obedient unto death, and death on the cross, is the name victorious over everything always. Today as well, you've seen how, by virtue of the name and the love of Jesus, the one you know is healthy in the sight of those who previously knew him to be sick. He is freed. May the name of Christ keep the return of the evil one, who hates those wanting to live in the law of God, far away from him. He hates, as he hated Mary and Joseph, inciting everything that could harm them and cause them pain, because they were obedient to the Lord. Matthew 2, 1-12. He hates, as he hated the 3 wise men, to the point of trying to make their gifts become harmful to the divine child and themselves, sought by Herod, disappointed and irate over their eluding him. They too were among the obedient. They obeyed the celestial voices, always, both when these voices said to them, "Depart to worship the newborn King of the Jews," and when they said, "Do not go back to Herod." They obeyed and deserved to bend their knees, the first fruits of all the peoples before Christ, before the Son of God and of Mary, Jesus. The life of Christ and of the relatives and friends of Christ was entirely obedience. Obedience paves the way of the Lord, and he passes over it with his mother and Joseph from the first moments of his earthly life. Indeed, those who by God's will represented God for him and near him carried him as a helpless child upon that way, the putative father and the virgin mother. And if the mother knew, through the grace of which she was full, that the child did not have to be taught the ways of justice, Joseph, who did not know all the mysteries which Mary stored up in her heart, recall here the explanation received in the book of the childhood of Jesus our Lord, Luke 2:19. As the just man he was, wanted to teach the child, from the first glimmers of intelligence on, that God's orders must be obeyed, even if these orders mean exile, greater poverty, and pain. And Mary, the humble and prudent wife, seconded her husband, becoming similar to him in relation to the child, who to ward off Satan had to be treated like every other little son of man. What depth of virtue in these words, spoken after the others concerning obedience, in the name to be imposed on the child.